Good day, my future healthcare professionals. This is Ma'am Marge, and we are on a new week for new topics for our subject SPO001 safety and first aid. So, for this week, we are going to focus on lesson or module 9.1, that's managing a person with dislocation and fracture, as well as module 9.2, differentiating a sprain from strain. Alright, so good day, grade 12 STEM. This is Ma'am Marge, and this is another week of series of video discussions for our subject SPO001 Safety and First Aid. So for this week, okay, we'll be discussing one topic, or I'll be discussing one topic, and then the rest of the two topics for this week will be discussed by the guest lecturer. So I'll be recording the lecture of our guest lecturer, and then I will share that to you once it's available. Okay, so for this week, okay, I'll be discussing module 9, and that's differentiating a sprain from a strain. So here are now our lesson objectives. So at the end of this module, you should be able to differentiate a sprain from a strain, and you should also be able to identify the signs and symptoms of a sprain or strain and situations requiring prompt response for safety. Okay, so when you say sprain and strain, these are types of injuries actually. Okay, so when you say injury, this is a physical trauma. Okay, it's a damage to the body caused by external force. Okay, it may be caused by accidents, by falls, hits, weapons, and other causes. Okay, so major trauma is a type of injury that has the potential to cause prolonged disability or death. So even if it's just a simple injury, but if not treated properly, it could actually cause prolonged disability. Just like, I can really relate to this one because I was mentioning to you before that I had an injury on my lower back, okay, and I had not given proper treatment for such injury, and until now I am still suffering the effects, okay, the after effects of the injury. So I think I already have a prolonged disability for this. Okay, I really get back pains, lower back pains each and every time. Okay, alright, so difference between a sprain and the strain. Okay, so when we talk about the sprain and the strain, we also have to talk about the ligaments and the tendons. Okay, so sabi ko nga, this is quite familiar with you guys because this is actually a part of the topic when we were discussing connective tissues back in STEM 007, General Biology 1. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, I have also mentioned to you the difference between ligaments and tendons. Okay, so when we say sprain, this is the one that happens to your ligaments. It's the stretching or tearing of your ligaments. Ano nga ba ang mga ligaments, guys? These are tough bands of fibrous tissues, again, connective tissues that connects bones to bones, okay, two bones together in your joints. So again, your ligaments connects bones to bones. And when we say sprain, this is the stretching or tearing of the ligament. So this is the stretching or the tearing of the one that connects a bone to another bone. So let's look at the picture here. Okay, so you have here different types of ligaments in your ankle alone. Okay, so we have three. So we have the anterior talofibular ligament, we have the posterior talofibular ligament, and the calcaneofibular ligament. So does this look familiar to you guys? Yes, kapag kayo ay natapilok, guys, tapilok ha, we meaning folding of the ankles by 90 degrees. Okay, pag kayo ang natapilok, guys, usually the ones that are being sprained, okay, is this one. Yeah, pag natapilok yan, okay guys, this is the one that gets injured. Okay, it's being stretched or being teared. Okay, and you'll get a sprain for that. Okay? Kaya nga kapag natapilok kayo, na-sprain ang inyong ligament. Okay? It's not entirely the ankle. Okay? the ankle is the general part, okay? But if you want to be specific with the sprain, lalo na kapag natapilok kayo, you would say, natapilok ako, ano natamaan? Yung calcaneofibular ligament ko. Right? So that's what you tell them, okay? So this is the one that gets affected when you get, pag natapilok kayo, guys, you have a sprain. Okay, but generally you would say I sprained my ankle. Okay, that's the general and that's the layman's term. But if you wanted to be technical and be medical with it, okay, I stretched my calcaneofibular ligament. Okay, so these three are the ligaments that are located in your ankle alone. Okay, so there are still other types of ligaments all over your body. Basta ang sabi natin dito, when it comes to ligaments, it connects your bones to bones. So, ibig sabihin yan, pag sinabi nating strain, guys, this is the one that happens to your tendons, okay? And tendons are tough band of fibrous connective tissue. Again, sabi ko nga, this is a topic nung way back pa when we were talking about connective tissues that connects muscle to bone. Again, ligament, bone to bone, sprain. Tendons, muscle to bone, strain. Okay? And is capable of withstanding tension. Okay, so when a strain, it's when a muscle is stretched too much and tears. It is also called a pulled muscle. Okay, so that's a pulled muscle. Pag nag-stretch masyado at napunit yung muscle, that's also called a pulled muscle. Okay, and it happens mostly to your tendons. Okay, so that's strain. Again, ligaments connects bone to bone and causes, and if there's an injury to the ligament, it causes sprain. Tendons connects muscles to bones, and when an injury happens to your tendons, okay, or if the muscle that connects from your tendons to the from your muscle to the bones, okay, if the muscle tears, okay, and that's what you call strain. Alright, so that's your sprain and your strain. Your sprain happens to your ligaments. Ligaments connects bones to bones. Strain happens to your muscles. It's the stretching or tearing of the muscles, and usually happens in your tendons, and it connects bones to muscles. Okay, now what is our first aid? So sabi nga natin, since we are studying safety and first aid, dapat alam natin kung anong gagawin natin pagka nagkaroon tayo ng sprain or ng strain. Okay, so cold compress is used to decrease the pain for the first 24 hours. Okay, so the application must not be more than 20 minutes. Okay guys, kapag ka immediate pa yung nangyari, let's say for example natapilok kayo, lagyan ka agad-agad yan ng ice. Okay, lagyan na yan kaagad-agad ng ice. Ma'am, pwede pa rin ba tayo maglagay ng ice pag lumampas na ng 2 days or more than 24 hours? Hindi na, guys. Okay? Dapat, ano na yan? Dapat iba na ang ilalagay dyan. Alright? This is to decrease the pain, okay, for the cold compress. Okay? Kaya kasi kapag masyado ng mahaba, pagka pinalampas mo na yan, pagka naglagay ka pa ng cold compress dyan, hindi na magkakaroon ng blood supply dyan. Kasi pag nag-cold compress ka, guys, magko-constrict ang mga blood vessels. Okay? And pag nag-constrict ang mga blood vessels, ibig sabihin, lower ang blood output. Okay? Kailangan mo ng blood para mag-heal ang mga parts na yan. So, kaya ang kailangan, cold compress for the first 24 hours. Kasi pag nag-cold compress ka, you lessen the pain there. Okay? You decrease the pain. Okay? And the application should not be more than 20 minutes. Huwag mahahayaang lalampas na more than 20 minutes ang iyong pag-apply ng cold compress because it could lead to further injury in your nerve endings. Okay? Medications, kapag talagang sobrang sakit at hindi kaya ng cold compress, okay? Usually, yeah, over-the-counter pain relievers, but beware of these pain relievers, guys. Huwag tayong masyado nagde-depend sa mga pain relievers, okay? If we can relieve the pain naturally, then that's more ideal, okay? That's more preferable, okay? we only resort to medications kapag ka talagang sobrang sakit at hindi na talaga kaya. Pero kapag kaya pa yan ng mga natural means, okay, natural means muna tayo. Let's not be dependent when it comes to medications. But if you really, really needed to take medications, you could take Advil, you could take Tylenol, are enough to make or manage the pain of a sprained ankle. Yeah, surgery is for the worst case scenario. Masyado ng ano yan. Pagka surgery talagang just mio, hindi na kaya ng gamot-gamot at hindi na kaya ng cold compress yan. Okay? So that's the first aid for sprain or strain. Parehas lang naman. Okay? Now, how do we prevent? Okay, how do we prevent? So it's number one is to maintain a healthy weight. Okay, so in my case, okay, my weight is not ideal. That's why konting kibot, let's say for example, na mali lang ako ng pag-step, okay, kaya nga very prone ako sa tapilok. When I was in college, I suffer a lot from spraining my ankles. Okay? Kaya talagang sobrang ingat ako sa paglalakad. Okay? Kaya medyo, pag naglalakad ako, medyo mabagal ako maglakad. Okay? Because I was really looking out for my ankles. Okay? Ma-prone kasi ako sa mga tapilok. Avoid falls by keeping your walkways in and around your home clear of clutter. Pag may mga kapatid kayo at may mga laruan sila, okay, we teach our siblings, we teach our kids to maintain orderliness when it comes to their toys. Ang hirap pag may naaapakan kang mga maliliit na toys, lalo na yung mga Lego. My gosh, parang landmines yung mga Lego na yan, ang sikat sa paa. Okay? And it can cause injuries. Specifically, it can cause sprains in your ankle. Matapilok ka dyan. Okay? Wear protective equipment when playing a sport that puts you at risk for a sprain or strain. Kaya nga, if you are doing sports, guys, you have to make sure that you have proper equipments, proper body equipments, and proper protective gears when you're playing. Okay? Kasi ang paglalaro, lalo na kung sa ground yan, okay? Sa lupa yan. It's really a very risky type of game. Okay? Lahat ng klase ng laro, mapaano man yan. Kahit anong klaseng laro, there's always a risk for injuries. Okay? So let's put on protective equipment at all times, especially if if your hobby is playing sports. Okay? Now, we have here what we call the riser. Okay, this is the first aid technique used in the first 48 hours after sprain, strain, or fracture. It can limit swelling and help speed up recovery. So, what is riser ba? Kasi riser stands for rest, ice, compression, elevation, and referral. Okay, so when you say rest, of course, you have to take a rest muna. Kapag ka natapilok ka, we make sure that you don't put any weight to it. Okay? Avoid overstressing the injured area and only move within your pain-free range. Kapag ka natapilok, huwag munang masyadong gagalawin yung part na natapilok. And then, of course, sabi natin kanina, you have to apply ice. Okay? Alright, so ice wrapped in a damp towel as soon as possible to your injured area for 15 to 20 minutes. Ideally, okay? Yes, sabi dito for the first 48 to 72 hours, but mostly, ang sinasabi natin dito, 24. Okay? 24. Kung minsan, pwedeng paabutin ng hanggang 48 hours, pero no, it doesn't need to push further into 72 hours. Dapat 24 to 48 hours na-applyan mo na kaagad yan ng ice. As soon as possible dapat yan. Okay? Huwag nang paabutin ng 2 days bago mo palagyan ng ice. Okay? Pagka natapilok, you have to find an ice as much as possible, as soon as possible. Okay? Huwag nang paabutin ng 48 hours. Okay, compression. Apply a firm, wide bandage, including above and below the injured area, as this will help control the swelling. Okay, kapag ka natapilok, napunit yung ligament, okay, you prevent further swelling by, at first, lagyan mo ng ice para ma-lessen yung pain. yung ice kasi, it doesn't just lessen the pain, it also reduces swelling. Pero kung hindi mo lalagyan yan ng bandage right after mo lagyan ng ice, okay, it will still swell. Okay, so that's why after you put ice, pahinga ng konti, and then lagyan na ng compression bandage. Okay, and then pagkatapos pa lagyan ng compression bandage, you elevate. Why? This is also to lessen swelling. Okay, elevate the injured area above the level of your heart, where possible, for as much as the time you can. This can be achieved by propping up your limb on pillows when seated or lying down. Ma'am, bakit kailangan i-elevate? Para hindi masyadong magkaroon ng pressure dun sa iyong ankles. This is also to limit swelling. Kasi kapag ka nakababa yan, of course, the blood flow, pababa yan lahat. Okay? Lahat ng mga fluids pababa, pati yung weight pababa din. So, it will put strain and pressure. It will put pressure on your ankles, which is not the case dapat. Dapat kasi kapag ka nagkaroon ka ng sprain or ng strain, you don't put any weight on the injured area. Okay? And then after which, you have to refer. Lalo na kung halimbawa, nag-first aid ka na, pero still, it doesn't do anything to the injury, then you have to make sure that you refer it to a physiotherapist or a physician as soon as possible. Okay, so that's the treatment for sprain and strain. That's the riser. That's rest, ice, compression, elevation, and referral. Okay? So, alam nyo na ang gagawin ninyo. Kapag natapilok kayo, huwag ginagalaw-galaw na kung ano-ano. Lagyan ng ice kaagad yan. Tapos, pagkatapos lagyan ng ice, lagyan ng compression bandage. Okay? Balutan yan. Okay? Tapos, i-elevate, and then you refer. Okay? So, yeah, yan lang yung topic natin, guys. Okay, so for any questions, please send me a message on our group chat or send me a PM on my private message in Messenger. Okay, so thank you very much. Please listen or please attend the lectures of our guest lecturer. Okay, so for those who will not be able to attend, okay, I will be recording the lecture of our guest lecturer and make it available for you to view it again. Okay, all right. So if there are no more questions, thank you very much and have a great day ahead. Goodbye, guys.